When the key turned in the lock at 3:02 a.m., I didn't hear the usual clatter of her shoes or the soft hum of her voice greeting me from the hallway. There was only silence, the kind that presses against your chest and refuses to leave. I stayed where I was, lying on the couch, the dim glow of the living room lamp outlining the sharp lines of my own face in the quiet. I had waited for this, though I didn't know I had. "Hey," she whispered, voice low and unsure as she stepped in, dragging the scent of someone else behind her. I didn't move. I didn't speak. My hands were folded over my chest, feeling a pulse of betrayal that was somehow both familiar and new. The air between us was thick, almost tangible. She started, but stopped. I could see the hesitation in her eyes, that fleeting flicker of guilt she tried to mask behind a tired smile. I realized then that there was no excuse she could give, no reason that would make sense. I had caught the subtle signs over months, the way her phone always stayed in her hand, the faint perfume that wasn't hers, the little lies that piled up like dust on the shelves of our home. I had convinced myself I was imagining it, but now, in the raw glow of midnight truth, it could no longer be denied. "Don't," I said finally, my voice barely above a whisper. "Don't try to explain." She blinked, hurt flashing across her face. "I didn't." "I know." I interrupted, suddenly aware of the tears burning my eyes. "I know everything." Her shoulders slumped. "I'm sorry." It wasn't the apology that struck me. It was the ordinary, casual weight of it. It landed on me like a stone and broke the surface of everything I thought we had. I thought love was supposed to be resilient, unshakable. But betrayal is a quiet, insidious thing. It seeps into the cracks and splinters a foundation before you even realize it's happening. I got up slowly, each step heavy with a mixture of grief and fury. "You know," I said, my voice cracking, "I spent months thinking I was overreacting, that maybe I was just being paranoid." She looked down, fumbling with her hands. "I never meant to hurt you." The words were hollow. Intentions don't erase actions. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, trying to summon some sense of clarity. I had always been the one to fight, to argue, to dig in and wrestle for what I loved. But tonight, something inside me shifted. The exhaustion of constant suspicion, the bruising weight of doubt. I realized I didn't want to fight anymore. Instead, I let go. I stepped back, letting the quiet stretch between us like an endless chasm. I could see her trying to read me, to find some hint of the man I had been before this night. But I was no longer there. I was a stranger in my own home. "I think maybe we're done," I said finally, each word deliberate, heavy with truth. "Not because I don't love you, but because love isn't supposed to feel like this, like standing on a battlefield where every glance is a threat." Her lips trembled. I didn't know how to stop it. I got lost. I nodded, because I understood the feeling all too well. How easy it is to drift, to make choices in the dark that shatter everything in the light. But understanding didn't mean forgiveness. Not tonight. "I need to breathe," I said. "I need to find myself again." She didn't protest. She didn't reach for me. The apartment was silent except for the soft hum of the refrigerator, for the sound of my own heartbeat, loud, insistent, demanding attention. I moved past her and into the bedroom, where our life together had been carefully constructed in soft linens and framed photographs. I looked around, seeing the remnants of happiness, the ordinary markers of a life that now felt like someone else's. When I finally closed the door behind me, I didn't look back. I sank to the floor, pressed my forehead to the cool hardwood, and let the tears come freely. There was no screaming, no pleading, no bargaining. There was only the raw, aching truth. Betrayal leaves a wound that cannot be sewn shut with words. And yet, amidst the heartbreak, I felt something unfamiliar, strength. Strength not in the clenching of fists, but in the gentle release of something I could not control. Strength in realizing that my dignity, my sense of self, was worth more than the shadows of lies. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. I didn't know if she would leave, or if I would. But at that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, a quiet, steady resolve. A reminder that life, no matter how painful, carries on. That I could survive this. That I could be whole again. And maybe in letting go, I had finally found my power.